Welcome to The Authentic Spiritual Journey, a weekly podcast featuring real and practical spiritual conversations from diverse perspectives here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. Today, episode 236, Live Big. And now your host, Reverend Cynthia Alice Anderson.
Hello and welcome to the Authentic Spiritual Journey. My name is Cynthia Alice Anderson and I am the host. I'm here today in my home studio and I welcome you to the show today, show 236 of the Authentic Spiritual Journey. Friends, it is amazing that we're at show 236 and today's title is Live Big. Live big. I can't believe it. It is the day after Christmas, friends. So I hope you are listening. Probably some of you are traveling. I know this is a real busy time for so many of us. And I wanted to get out a special show as the year is ending so that you remember to live big. You remember that you are a light to the world, that you remember that you are here to be, a soul on purpose and a light to those around you. And it is really fun to live big. It's really fun to live big. So what does that mean? And what do I mean when I say the words live big? Well, what I mean is that, friends, you are a light to the world. We've been talking about that. And even in the last show, we were ending saying that we were talking about a stress-free Christmas. And we said, as you look inside, as you do the things that make you feel happy, that you, in fact, will begin to be full of joy, full of love. You will have more peace. Well, friends, when you do that, you begin to make other decisions based out of this joy, this peace, this centeredness, the Christ light that you are. And as you do that, well, you're going to start living your dreams. You're going to start living life in a bigger way. What I mean is when we're on purpose, we live life in a much more expansive way. We live life with a full heart, with a heart for humanity, and yet individually, we're also on purpose. Individually, we are also on purpose. I love this idea of living big. Now, sometimes when I say live big, I've had people say, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to solve the problem of cancer, or I'm not going to be famous, or I'm not going to reach thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people with a podcast. You say live big, and that's good for you, but I don't know how I'm going to. I've had, people say this to me. So, you're absolutely right. You may not do any of those things. And when I say live big, what is living big for you? I'm going to keep saying this, that I want you to think about in your life, in your world, how are you living big? What is living big for you? In other words, where are you headed on your individual spiritual journey? Living big means I'm living on purpose. That the dreams I love, the things I think about doing, the activities I enjoy are the things that I do and they move me forward. Living big means I don't hide my light. As the scriptures say, don't hide your light under a bushel, but put it on a lampstand so it can be seen. So live your light in the world is what living big is about. Living your purpose, living your vision, living your dreams, living out those goals that you say you have, like living into those goals, speaking into those goals, living from the heart and soul of you. Live big. What I've noticed is that the more centered I am, the better life gets. The more I am going to God for what's mine to do and what's mine to feel and be and think. The more I go to God, well, when I get out in the world, I know what's mine to do, when, and how to do it. I don't have to ask anybody. I can live life with confidence. I can move forward with purpose. It doesn't mean I move forward without support from maybe there's a guide I use in this realm. As a matter of fact, what I know is the most successful people in the world have coaches that they consult because they always know there's aspects of what they're doing that they can't see themselves. I use a variety of people for feedback, right? So living big doesn't mean I just charge forward and forget everybody else. It means that I live from purpose, right? So you may in fact need support on the journey. You may in fact need a coach. That's one of the things, the things I love doing with people is coaching them on the journey. As a matter of fact, in January, we're starting again the Dream Big, Live Big Basics. Even if you've done the course, I would encourage you to do it again, because every year you're going to find you need a refresh. Because, friends, I'm constantly redoing the basics on my own. So you're going to start with the basics. And then later in the year, I'll provide the advanced course and the mastermind course as well. That's all year. Mastermind is always going. But this basic course of Dream Big, Live Big, I'd really encourage you to think about. A couple of individuals that took it last time said to me, I didn't even realize I was not living from my dreams until I took this course. And it's like all this new energy opened up to me as I got quiet enough, as you guided me down the path. I could journal, I could pray through, I could get feedback from the other members of the class. So, wow, Dream Big, Live Big is a game changer. One of the key ways that you live big is getting quiet and listening to the heart and soul of you. What are those desires that are still in you? What is that way you came to be? All right. What is the person you came here to be? And that's what we're seeking to uncover in the courses. We know that you have dreams and desires. Everyone does. And as you learn what those dreams and desires are and allow yourself to even dream a little bit, well, then living into those becomes second nature. And so for myself, what's so fun as I work with my coaches or also my accountability partner, which is a part of the program, every week he's inspiring me to be more. Every week he's lifting me up and saying, well, what have you done here? What have you done there? Tell me about your process around this. And I get re-inspired all over again every single week. So friends, I think the reason we forget to live big is everything in our culture tells us what's wrong with us. You're too old, your hair is too gray, you're old-fashioned, you're this, you're that, or maybe you're too hip. In every group and subgroup, everybody's telling you what you need to be. And I'm saying, go to God for that. Right? So, but that's why we forget to live big and live our purpose and live our light, is because everything in our culture is telling us what's wrong with us. We don't have a big enough house. We don't have an expensive enough cars. We need to buy this and this perfume to be okay, to be sexy. We need to buy these clothes at this place, rather than simply doing and being what we feel guided to do and be. That we are these individuals that, are here to be on purpose. We are individuals here to express our individual soul identity. So friends, I want to encourage you to really listen to that inner voice as we're coming to the end of the year, embarking on a new one. We're really going to get into it next year, this idea of dreaming big and living big. Because you have an individual purpose that's known in and only to you. So this is really exciting stuff to me to even just allow myself to think about it. Not too long ago, I was working through some of my goals, and I work with them every day. And I have short-term goals that are 1 to 3 months. I have long-term goals that are, 3 months to sometimes 2 or 3 years. And what I've noticed is the goals that I have, the short-term goals have been manifesting so quickly that my long-term goals are now beginning to manifest. So I've had to kind of reach deeper for more for more challenging goals because I was manifesting them so quickly. I was like, well, what do I do next? So I just had a period of time of about 30 days where I was not necessarily trying to reach a goal. I said, I just want to be in this and integrate all these goals that I've just manifested. And it was really interesting because I wasn't really working towards something. I just had the experience of living in that success. And it was a really wonderful feeling. It was like, I looked back at my list and went, wow, I just accomplished all this. Well, what's next? Well, I don't know yet. So let me just be in this. Right? So there's an ebb and flow of this work for sure. But it was just fun to be in the success of that, kind of let everything settle. And the word I keep feeling is resonate with it, just like allowing my life to catch up with all of the new manifestations. What I noticed is that several opportunities in the last 30 days that have come to me have been seemingly out of the blue, but totally in line with my vision for my life and goals. I happen to find myself in a certain place, and an opportunity or a speaking event or a business opportunity comes forward, and all I'm doing is showing up and being present to where I may be invited. This has happened a number of times in the last 30 days. So I'm just thinking back on those opportunities and how my mind could have never figured that out. But because I'm holding these larger intentions as well, this vision and this mission for my life, because I'm holding these higher intentions, it's like Spirit's going to bring me opportunity I never write down, that it never makes it to the goal stage because it just manifests because I'm in alignment with where it is I want to go. Maybe more than ever before, because I've gotten clarity around my life and my purpose. It's been a delight for me in this last year, to expand my work. It's interesting because it's getting smaller and larger at the same time. And here's what I mean. I'm doing more coaching than I've ever done before. And the people I'm coaching are everything from retired folks to company CEOs. But all of the people I'm coaching are seeking to live a better life, to make their homes a place of peace and joy, and to impact the world around them for good. Right? So the quality of my clients is so amazing. I'm so honored to work with this level of client. So I'm doing a lot of individual work. At the same time, I'm working with a growing congregation in Lutz, Florida. Well, friends, a year and a half ago or whatever, 2 years ago, I never even heard of Lutz, Florida. But I love this congregation. I love the programs we're doing. They are excited. They want to grow. There's a beautiful spiritual consciousness there. They are willing to learn. We've had some challenges, but we've overcome those challenges. It's just been a wonderful expansion of my ministry into that part of Florida that I never, like I say, 2 years ago, I never even knew existed. At the same time, I'm moving out and working with more people in the corporate world as well as in the sports arena. I've worked with the golfing program. Now I'm going to be working with a basketball program. This is so exciting. This is so exciting. As I'm doing all of that, here is this podcast expanding around the world as people share and give. This is amazing. So friends, even 2 years ago, I couldn't imagine I would be right here where I am today. But it is through this daily going inward, this daily seeking what is mine to do, this daily looking and establishing my vision, my mission, my goals, has been extremely, extremely rewarding and successful. Both from a joy state, both from my just general feeling of happiness in my life, to a financial success as well. In this financial success, I'm continuing my work of tithing, to giving 10% to where I'm spiritually fed. I'm giving of my time to organizations. I'm seeking to live big in every aspect of my life. It is so living big is all of those things I described, right? It's living on purpose. It's living your vision and mission in the world. It's releasing what no longer serves and creating and moving into what your dreams, desires, and goals may be. But it is also taking responsibility when there's a misstep. It is also apologizing if needed and doing forgiveness work as an aspect. Because sometimes when we get on purpose, it's easy to be a bulldozer and force our will, or it's easy to, start moving in distress, like, I have to do this, I have to do this. And friends, that is all of the ego. That's not of the spirit of you. That's all ego. So living big includes vulnerability. Living big includes vulnerability. Living big means I am willing to see myself. I am willing to work on myself when I see places that are not in alignment with what I say I want to do and be. And yes, vulnerability is a requirement, because anybody can push their way through life. But we're talking about living big from the soul of you. So it's more, a lot of times when people talk about dreams and goals and vision, it's all about what can I get? And as I'm teaching it, it's more about who can I be? So again, friends, I want to reiterate that what I'm teaching about is not what can I get, but who can I be? So I want to reiterate that, and for you to be thinking about, who am I here to be? And then the doing and all the getting, the things that we want really do arise out of that. When we start living life in a much more expansive way, it becomes less about what we have and more about who we are. And I've learned that this seems to be an unusual thing to say in our world today, because it's more about what you can get than who am I being, or, what ideology am I going to attach myself to? And there's a real danger in that. I want us to really think about, are we living from soul, and who am I here to be, right? Not what can I get, but who can I be? So, you hear me talk about this, and I want to be super clear in that when I'm talking about living from the heart and soul, it doesn't mean you're supposed to live over here with nothing. The scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Well, friends, that's been my experience. That's definitely been my experience. I said to you, I'm experiencing success, as never before in terms of my individual coaching. I'm doing incredible work that I enjoy at the church, and yet it's expanding past that as well, through the podcast, through other speaking engagements. I already have speaking engagements through next June around the country, and I'm debt-free. Well, I'm debt, except for my mortgage. I have a mortgage, but other than that, I'm debt-free. I can't tell you how good that feels, friends, to not have mounds of debt. And I know it's because I'm giving my energy into the world. Yes. I'm living on purpose. Yes. When I make a mistake, I move into vulnerability. I take responsibility and I learn. Yes. I am also tithing over 10% of everything that I earn. I am giving back out into the world good energy. I am seeking to be a blessing in the world. So friends, I want you to consider, is this how you're living? Is this what you desire? Because I believe right now the world needs your light more than ever before. And sometimes it takes time to unplug, to get clear about what is yours to do. I'm going to attach to the show notes today a couple of my worksheets that might really help you. One is my morning pages, and my morning pages, as one of my clients calls them, his wake up pages. He goes, I don't get up in the morning, so he likes calling them his wake up pages, is where you start the morning, every single morning, asking Spirit, okay, what is my highest spiritual ideal for the day? What is my highest intention? What is my I am today? In other words, what spiritual energy do I need to bring forward? Friends, that's how you live big, is by going right to God. You don't have to go on your news feed or Instagram or Facebook to know who are you to do and be. You go right to God, and you will be guided into what that is. And then you write on that piece of paper, or you type it in your computer, whatever you do. I prefer writing. And you write, what is that I am for you today? What is that I am? Who are you to be today? Then you go and you list your gratitudes. What are you grateful for? Who are the people, the places, the situations, the energy that you're grateful for? And you write that down, friends. Write it down. Because as you start to be in gratitude, what's going to happen is, guess what? More good is going to come to you, and you're going to be more aware of the blessings you already have, and therefore be happier. So then you're going to live big in the world. See, all of the activities that I talk about are about living life from your soul, this place of peace, this place of joy. Right? Live big, baby. Live big. So after you get your I am and your gratitude, you're going to move into what is mine to do today. It's called your daily task. And I think of it as your daily task from the universe. And I keep it to top 3 things so I know I can get them all done. I say, Spirit, what are my top 3 things? And I sit, I take a deep breath, and I wait for the answer. I wait for the answer. After I do that, I do my self-care. So today, what do I need to do for self-care? Knowing that tomorrow, my self-care might be different. I'm only focusing on today. This helps keep me present to my life. It helps keep me present to my situation, what is, coming forward for me today. Because my self-care today might be take a nap, eat well, do a walk, work out. And tomorrow might simply be rest. Take a bath. Call a friend. Check in with my family, right? There might be a number, there might be a variety of things involved in self-care. And every day might be slightly different. Might be. So give that thought, friend. What do you need this day to take care of yourself? What do you need? And then finally, the last piece is affirmation. It's affirming all the good, it's affirmative statements that you write, affirming that intention, that spiritual idea you first wrote down. So it's like affirming the good before it happens. So for instance, if you knew that you were going into a situation where you really needed to be loving and your I am was I am love, your affirmation becomes I am love, I am loving, I am loved. I bring about love wherever I go. I love where there seems to be no love. I love myself. I love God. All is truly well with my soul. It might be something so simple like that. So that's the initial process to do each morning. And the reason I'm doing it now is I wanted you to take that into the new year. I wanted you to take this practice into the new year to have this for yourself. You can buy packets of it on my website. Certainly, I'm happy to send those to you. But I wanted to give you a page just to try it. And if you want to make copies on your own, there's nothing against making a copy on your own. Just the tablets we make are really beautiful and easy to deal with and handle. So that's why I started making the packets for you. People requested that. Then the other sheet that we're attaching is the vision, mission, goals, next steps. And there's a place for you to look every day at your vision, your mission. What are you releasing? What are you creating? What are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What are your general goals? And friends, it is the daily practice of looking at this as what I call working your goals that is going to help you move forward and help you live big in a brand new way. The reason I teach the course, Dream Big, Live Big, the reason I'm excited and my voice is, high and I'm like, yes, do this, do that, live from soul, is because this is from my own process. I came up with this process. Well, I say Spirit gave me this process as I was going through a tough time and I needed an anchor for my spiritual process because I was feeling ungrounded. And now here I am years later, and the success that this has brought into my life and to the lives of many, many people is very exciting to me, that these simple processes that help motivate me are now motivating people around the world. Gives me a lot of joy and a lot of hope for what we're all capable of doing. So friends, I know you're a light to the world. I know you are capable of living big, of living on purpose, of living out your dreams and goals, of living an more expansive life where there's room for everyone, where you are living your dreams and goals, that you are living big, you're loving big, you're living from soul, you're living on purpose. And when you make a misstep, you're able to be vulnerable. You're able to, call yourself on your own stuff and say, well, okay, I missed that. So we go back, we clean it up, we do our forgiveness work. We ask for forgiveness. We offer an apology if there's a mistake we made, and then we move forward again. Living big means I live from soul. I'm living from the light that is the Christ in me, and that as I move forward, I'm consistently asking, who am I here to be? Not what can I get, but who am I here to be? And this is the message that Jesus the Christ brought to us. It was not about what you could have materially. As a matter of fact, the scriptures say, oh, all that rusts and corrodes. That stuff goes away. But it is who you are that leaves a living legacy. It is who you are that is a blessing to the world. So friends, my hope and my prayer for you as you end up this year of 2022 and move into 2023, that you will be a blessing to the world, that you will use your light for good, that you will use your soul to live big, to live who you're meant to be, which is a being of light and love and purpose and peace and joy wherever you go. This is my hope for you, that you, as you do your spiritual work, will move into experiencing more success on every level, that you will experience more joy, more happiness, and even financial success. Friends, God wants the best for you, and that includes all the good that the universe has to offer. But we begin with knowing it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. We begin knowing, seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Remember, dear friend, you are loved and supported by the universe. You are blessed in all you do. And so the affirmation I will leave you with is, you are guided and guarded by the Holy Spirit. You are loved, you are safe, you are prospered, and you are blessed. So go out, friend, and live big. And know I'm lifting you up as you work your process and as you live your purpose in the world. So thank you for all your financial support as we end the year. Thank you for considering a gift to the channel, Experience of the Soul podcast channel, as we reach the world with these messages of empowerment, of love, of peace. Your support makes this possible. Thank you again. Happy New Year, friend, and blessings on the journey.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Authentic Spiritual Journey here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Authentic Spiritual Journey is copyright 2022, Cynthia Alice Anderson, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Croft and used with permission from RR Hot Publishing. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.